Hi, my name is Yuri Dvizhon. I'm Ukrainian film director and LGBTQ activist. Today I want to present you my feature documentary project called Step into the Comfort Zone. Let me tell you first how I came to the protagonist of this film and the idea. It happened quite unexpectedly 2 years ago. I got a message from Larissa. She's a Ukrainian lady in her 50s. She texted me on my TikTok post about LGBTQ people in Ukraine, and she asked me to help to find her a chat for those who over 40, and she said finally I want to live for myself. All my life I was told that I was abnormal. I love women. So Larissa, she's a mom of 4 sons. From ghost town Bakhmut in the east of Ukraine. Currently she's living in Lviv in a refugee camp. And Bako, she's a mom of 2 daughters. She is from rural areas in Kazakhstan. She's a Muslim, and she recently made her coming out and now fears of persecution in her country. 2 years ago, Bako met Larissa in a secret group in WhatsApp for women from post-Soviet countries, and they fall in love with each other. And 1 year ago, they decided to finally meet each other offline. So Bako decided to visit Larissa in Ukraine, in Lviv. And of course, I couldn't miss this opportunity, and I took my all belongings. I hired a camera operator. We went to Kazakhstan and followed her long journey. It took us only 35 hours by train from the western part of Kazakhstan to the eastern part, and then the planes and trains and all this long journey. So please take a look how this all happened.
Я тебя люблю. Моя хорошая, береги себя, бабушка.
Блин, этот носик, блин!
А еще так сделаю. Еще так сделаю. Нет, вот это пальчиками. Все, давай.
Угу.
С Богом и спокойной ночки.
Угу. Да, спокойно. Я думаю, что сейчас испытываю такое с Лорой. Пока онлайн. Но все вот эти краски, эмоции, которые вот за 42 года я не испытывала, есть.
Де моя люба бакуля? Ці лазаньки подивлюся. Так, а може ото?
Мам, ти зараз до такого відчаю діли, що всі автобуси передають.
Так. Поки знайду. Я її називаю моя бірюза. Тому що це найдорожчий камінь на світі. І самий гарний. Так і в мене Бако. Сама люба моя і сама гарна. Сама найдорожча для мене. А, вон вона! Вон вона! Вон вона!
Это все очень мило, только давайте отойдем с проезжей части.
Умничка моя. Ну что, такую ожидала? Или не такую?
Лучше.
So 1 year ago, right before the Christmas, we were hoping that this story gonna evolve and my protagonist gonna get to Europe and will be able to start new life and get married. That's the main goal and the mission of the film, to finally, help them to get married in Europe, because in Ukraine we don't have this opportunity, but Polish border force didn't want to listen to like a refugee dangerous story that happened to Bako because of her family and all the rules and stereotypes in Kazakhstan towards LGBTQ people, so they just sent her back to Ukraine, and then Larissa got back to Ukraine. They spent 1 month together, and then Bako left Ukraine because of the documents and all these like corridors. And now they all again on long-distance relationship. We try to face with and fight with all this bureaucracy and help to get visa to Bako, and now they are in the process of trying to get protection in the UK, and we are trying. We want to highlight in this film 3 main topics, which is late coming out, relationships between gay parents and their kids, and also marriage inequality in Ukraine and other countries. And we are on the late development stage with this project. We were able to film 10 days in Ukraine and Kazakhstan, and have a great Ukrainian producer, Anna Kapustina, who's the producer of documentary Earth is Blue as an Orange, and we are looking for the broadcasters, streaming platforms, and any supporters for this film. Thank you so much for your attention.
Hi, I'm Eva Török, the creative producer of Cinemorbo, and this is Andris Kocsányi, the writer and the director of the film. I bet that every one of you have some stories about being in a hospital, and maybe some of you even have some absurd ones. Well, we definitely have one, and Andris will tell more about it.
The title, Cinemorbo, is a Latin medical term that means cine, without, and morbo, disease, without disease. Our film is a satirical black comedy about a healthy everyman who just wants to renew his work permit, and he goes into a hospital for a routine healthcare check. What could go wrong? He gets lost in the hospital chaos, loses his health and identity, and eventually he dies. Mihai, the upright, shy chimney sweeper, spends his time caring for his ailing father, who is suffering from dementia. People think the chimney sweeper will bring them luck, but all they get are big fines and bills. Mihai does not see himself as lucky. The elderly father, who is masculine even in his illness, does not really show his gratitude to his son. But Mihai is proud of himself for sacrificing his whole life to care for him. One day, Mihai takes a routine healthcare examination, but after that, he doesn't find his clothes in the changing room, but somebody else's hospital gowns, medical records, papers, and pajamas. From that on, all the nurses, the doctors, treat him as this other person who just left his stuff there. So Mihai mistakenly swaps his identity with this man, László, who is a degraded, ill patient of the hospital. Our hero is now a prisoner of this system. With László's medicine, hospital bed, and treatment, Mihai even gets his wife, Marta, as well. She often visits him and brings some homemade cooking. After her initial doubts, the doctors convince her that this stranger in her husband's bed is actually her husband, and she wants to believe it is true because the lonely woman finds real love and real tenderness in this new husband that she mistakenly got. Meanwhile, the chief surgeon, who plays on the organs of the patients, like Paganini on his violin, relentlessly searches for László's tumor in Mihály's brain, but he couldn't find it. Besides that, Mihály lives adventures such as an appendix surgery, an MRI, and a day-long funny ambulance drive. And he secretly plans an escape. At this moment, the last memento of his old identity is actually the urine sample that he keeps in a pickle jar, and he couldn't deliver to the lab. When he finally escapes and he flees home, he gets back there, he opens the door of his flat, he finds there the other person, László, who lived his life, Mihály's life, with his father. The old man didn't even miss his own son. Mihály was excluded from his own life. He feels completely alone outside the hospital. In this sudden panic, he immediately calls the ambulance to take him back to the hospital. When he gets back there, the lost brain tumor is finally found in him. On this ceremonial occasion, all the doors in the hospital swing out, all the nurses, the doctors, even the agonizing patients come in, and they begin to dance on the hospital floor. Mihály admits he even missed the hospital. During this dance macabre, they escort Mihály to the roof, where he says them a heartfelt, tearful goodbye, and an ambulance helicopter takes him to the afterlife.
Andris and I made several short films before, and this will be our first feature film. We plan a 90-minute long film, and currently we are in the script development phase with the third draft of the script ready. With this project, we took part in many programs, for example, Pitch It at Berlinale Pitch Forum, and a few months ago we won Heart of Europe Best Feature Film Pitch. Nowadays, after the COVID pandemic, we think that the society depends even more on the healthcare system than ever. And personally, we both have really heavy health-related experiences. Since we began to develop this project, we told this story to many people in many countries, and everywhere it evoked their own bizarre memories about the hospitals. But sometimes it turns out that reality is even more bizarre than the fiction.
I'm a hypochondriac, but I'm working on it. And my several absurd experiences in the Hungarian healthcare system culminated in my lost voice, as you can hear it. But losing my older voice, I really found something new, a cinematic voice, that we can make a comedy about something bloody serious, our health and our hospitals. Thank you very much for your attention.
Megjött az álommanó. Érkezik is a finom szuri. Úgy elalszik, mint a bunda.
Bocsánat, de hányadik műtétje ez magának?
Első.
És nem lehetne esetleg, hogy...
Jó. Ezt kérem szívja be, és amikor kifújja, akkor számoljon vissza 30-tól.
30, 29, 28, 27... Figyelj, kérem.
Windsurfözni szerintem Fuerteventura a legjobb, de Szikét, Tenerife-n sima szörfet tudom elképzelni. Egyszer megcsípett, hogy megvegyem.
Azt hiszem nekem.
A legjobb,
Nekem aludnom kéne.
Vitike, az urina, bizonyám. Az egyszerű pisi. Íme itt látható az aortavérzés. Na ez az, ami tilos. Valaki állítsa már le. Adja már ide. Holló. Még. Mindenhol. Figyeljenek, kérem. Most jön a mutatvány. Íme. Az appendix.
De hát ez nem is gyulladt.
Mi most várjam vissza. Röhög a mag bele.
Thank you for your attention.
Good afternoon. This was hilarious. It just reminded me how we were shooting once in the care home for people who cannot manage themselves, and nurses mistaken one of our electricians for their patient, and they did not want to let him go. So it took quite a while for us to explain that he is part of our crew, not of their patients. Thank you very much, NEM Zagreb, for such a great opportunity picking us from the heart of Europe. My name is Evgeny. I'm a producer from Estonia, or maybe you can call me Boy from Tallinn if you wish. And I will talk about a mystical crime drama, Girl from Tallinn. So Estonia nowadays, home country for the Skype, Bolt, Wise, Pipedrive, and so on. But that was not always. But nowadays it is. It's peaceful and calm country. And after the storm, remains of a young woman were found in the woods. Cause of the death, she was shot in the head, execution style. She have been lying there over than 30 years. Police officer Anna is assigned to this case, and her husband just died in an accident, and she is grieving and angry at the same time because she just found out that her dead husband was cheating on her and that other woman is pregnant. So nevertheless, heartbroken Anna starts the investigation, though she does not have any illusions about solving this old case, but she just has to follow the procedure. And at the same time in Kiev, former criminal and now very respectful businessman Ivan suddenly meets young woman who looks exactly as love of his life, with one exception. Back in the days of his criminal activity in 90s in Tallinn, this girl was murdered. And now Ivan keeps seeing her again and again, here and there. And of course, Ivan does not believe in ghosts, so he becomes very obsessed with this. What's happening? What's going on? He wants to get to the bottom of the story, and he suspects his business rivals, he's suspecting Secret Service, his partners, and he's starting his own investigation. He wants to get to the roots, and after fruitless research in Kiev, he will go where it all began, 90s, in Tallinn, in Estonia. So what happened 30 years ago with Ivan and why in Tallinn? Back in the days, we had mafia wars, because different gangs found Tallinn very interesting spot for their business. And what kind of business? It's a transit. Tallinn was a very wide door to Europe, and transit of everything, starting from weapons and ending with the most profitable article, metals. From the whole ex-Soviet Union directly to the West. Easy, very big money, and a very tough competition. A lot of shootouts and explosions. Anyway, our hero, Ivan, back in the 90s, was a part of a mixed Ukrainian, Bulgarian, post-Soviet gang that was trying to settle down in Tallinn. And he was a very good fighter, and he helped his boss, Bulgarian Bizon, and even saved his life. And Bizon actually had a lover, beautiful and unresistible Maria. Exactly type of woman that you do not want to fall for. And of course, Ivan did, he fell in love for this woman. And as genre dictates, Desdemona has to die. Ivan tries to save the girl, but alas, he fails. Girl got murdered. So why now, 30 years later, we understand, of course, that the girl that Ivan keeps seeing is not actual from the living world. So, yes, why now, 30 years later, Maria is back? Is it love, or is it something else hidden beneath? Girl from Tallinn is a drama at its core, but we play with several genres. It's a mixture of mystery, it's a mixture of romance and a thriller at the same time. It is also a special project in terms of the mood, and it is special how we unfold this story of crime investigation and ghosts with seamless transition between past and present, ethereal and material worlds. And of course it is a story about love, betrayal and redemption. And it is a story of three co-producers. Zolba Production from Estonia, Film UA from Ukraine and Agit Prom from Bulgaria. I'm happy to say hi to Martichka, girl from Sofia from Bulgaria here, my co-producer. And with help of different commissioners, we managed to secure 70% of the budget. We are looking for final partners, distribution and broadcaster, who will help us to close 30% of the budget. And for conclusion, coming back to Ivan, as all these multiple storylines will collide, our protagonists will face the ghosts of the past. And Ivan will eventually come to Tallinn, and also Anna's investigation will take her to the very same house where Ivan was once happy, and the house that is abandoned now and almost in ruins, but Ivan doesn't see it. And Anna will see Ivan going into the house and meeting actual Maria there, waiting for him, the same young and beautiful as nothing has changed. And finally, Maria will help Ivan to remember what Ivan forced himself to forget for 30 years. So while trying to save Maria, Ivan was actually given a choice to die himself or to kill his love. Ivan killed Maria, and now it is his chance for the redemption. And he decides to stick with the past and to die, whilst Anna will decide to let her ghosts go, and she will forgive her dead husband, and she will move forward with her life. And so much for the girl from Tallinn. Thank you very much. And
Hi, I'm Marta Hopfer-Gilles. I'm a screenwriter and producer of Good Enough.
Hi, I'm Jean-Nicolas Gilles Hopfer. You can call me Giant. I'm a creative co-producer, and this is Good Enough.
When we cry,
Picture this. You just found the perfect loving partner, and you are moving to the perfect country, Norway. Sounds nice, right? But what if your body starts to fail you and your mind is in shambles? Are you allowed to question your happiness when you live in one of the most happiest countries in the world?
Well, Good Enough is an R-rated, steamy dramedy that explores the messy reality of late blooming and womanhood. It's raw, it's emotional, but also funny.
Yes, it's everything you will expect from a coming-of-age story, except it happens 30 years too late when menopause is knocking at your door.
Paula is a 40-something Polish expat. We'll get back to that. We meet her in Oslo, fresh off the boat, while she's trying to fit into life of her Norwegian partner, Øystein.
But life, in its endless wisdom, pushes Paula into a deep crack of in-betweens. And sometimes reality can slap you with a huge Norwegian salmon.
In Paula's case, the reality means Øystein's ex-wife dropping their 3 kids full-time for 6 months. Paula never wanted to have kids, and now she has to be a full-time stepmother.
And on top of that, perimenopause slaps her out of nowhere and makes things, well, even more complicated and so hormonal.
Meanwhile, Øystein's teenagers are playing him against Paula, using her lack of experience and a strong need to fit in. Confused, Paula starts flirting with Maciek.
I told you, so hormonal. Maciek is a Polish construction worker, a choice she will never make back home. The guy is as hot as he's dumb, but very, very fuckable. Trust me, I saw the actor's wish list from Marta. Looking for a job is not going well either. The only thing Paula can get is an internship.
And it sucks so much that she's barely surviving the first week, only to quit with a bang the next Monday. And when I say with a bang, I mean she explodes and becomes literally overnight the most shared meme in Norway. Plot twist that actually will give her a real chance to become a stand-up comedian.
But meanwhile, her boyfriend Øystein badly breaks his leg and is stuck at home. Usually full of energy, he starts to slowly slide down into depression. As it turns out, not for the first time.
But Paula has a family emergency and must go to Poland, which obviously is not helping. And back home, Paula learns about her mother's dementia and reconnects with her ex.
At the end of the season, Austin's ex-wife decides not to come back and drop her 3 kids to Austin and Paula for good. Paula and Austin must realize that this is not something they can overcome together.
So will Paula and Oystein live happily ever after? Probably. Eventually, happily ever after-ish.
So, let me tell you a bit about perimenopause.
Whoa.
What?
I told you to stop mansplaining this.
But I read an article in the New York Times.
Excuse him, he's an ally. Well, where were we? Perimenopause. Did you know that 72% of women aged 30 to 49 experience perimenopause symptoms like heavy bleeding, mood swings, anxiety, insomnia, brain fog, and sex drive change? Perimenopausal women have 40% higher risk of depression.
But you know what can be even more depressing than that? Norway. It's so tiny. You can say it's a shithole, but a beautiful one. Food is awful. Trust me, I'm French and living there.
And Poles are the biggest non-Scandinavian minority in Norway. And jobs expected for Polish people in Norway are cleaners, nurses, or maybe construction workers?
Indeed, we faced this reality when we moved to Norway together 8 years ago. As a Frenchman living in Norway, I am an expat.
Well, me, as a Polish person living in Norway, I will always be an immigrant.
Paula is facing the exact same reality of being treated as an immigrant in a cold, unfamiliar, and unfriendly environment.
And with menopause, the society and her own body is considering her an old person.
So we believe that juxtaposing these 2 topics is the heart of this show. But it doesn't be the end of Paula's stories. Her struggle to understand who she wants to be while dealing with this phase of her womanhood will help her help her rediscover her identity and sexuality.
So Good Enough is about the invisibles, Poles in Norway, and women, perimenopausal women over 40.
Yes, and Good Enough is also a show about late bloomers who are feeling too old and too young at the same time, stuck between the past and the future, struggling with mental health and society's expectations.
Stuck under waves and waves of hormones and craving to experience the first kiss one last time. Stuck choosing to be child-free, but having to care about your aging parents. This is also a show about menopause seen as a turning point, a new opening.
It's normal people meets better things and a pinch of catastrophe.
It constantly balances the funny in the serious and serious in the funny.
Good Enough is produced in Norway by Rubicon TV, the company behind Before Rainers, Billionaire Island and Lillehammer. We have a pilot script ready and we are looking for co-producers and broadcasters.
So this is our time. We would be very happy to chat with you. We hope this speech was
good enough
for you. Tusen tack.
Dziękuję. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Hello. This idea of this TV series is based on true story. It's a story about a man, a husband, a son, a prince from Africa who is in exile in Moldova. I meet a guy from Africa who lives in Moldova, and his name is Prince, and he has a problem with local migrations because he have judged for illegal migration of African people in Europe from Moldova. And is not in this area. He's artist. He's working for wedding and is influencer online in Moldova. So it has a bad story. And after 3 months, he go to France and say never come back to Moldova because of this of corruption in legislation. So we make a TV series. It's based on this idea, but is all fiction. So it's have a narrative of migrations, corruptions, of integration of our people in our country, and it's story about this man who is real prince going in exile, and he is have judging for false judging for have traffic of human in Europe, and place it in under home arrest of his in law house in a small village, country village in Moldova. So now this in-law hate him because he's going with his daughter, and they are a little racist, okay? And now she need to live in house with these people, and also go to judge and demonstrate his innocence. And when I present this project in September in Heart of Europe, I am making this format is very clear, and it's very soft to do it because we have 6 short episodes which can be emblazoned in one future films and can be adaptable, can be refilming in our country with local problems, and we demonstrated. In September, we discussed about this movie, and now we have this movie in post-productions. And 14 February, we have a premiere in cinema. So I present you the trailer of movie The Prince.
Мам, пап, знакомьтесь. Это принц Кофи.
Что значит принц?
Его отец король, мам.
С чем вас всех и поздравляю. Но черного в моем роду не будет.
Можете к нам на свадьбу и не приходить.
А у него деньги вообще есть? Может, он тебя обманывает? Никакой он не принц.
Да, есть. Рано или поздно я до них доберусь.
Ответьте мне только на один вопрос. Откуда у простого преподавателя, пусть даже с докторской степенью, такие деньги?
Извиняюсь, здрасте. Не будет сигарет у вас?
Я не курю.
Женя, порнешьте мотор.
Îl urmărim pe negru?
Nu. Tu urmărești bani, din negru mă ocup eu.
Băi, tu și ești prost? Tu doar n-ai nimic ilegal împotriva lui. Tu lasă-mă 2 ceasuri cu dânsul și ai să vezi cansat. Мне сейчас нужен самый лучший адвокат.
Прости меня, Кофи.
Да кинула она тебя, принц Персии. Кинула.
Степыня, примите кандидатуру 17 воров Примос Аич.
Вот от этой точки радиус 100 метров. Плюс-минус шаг, и ты отправляешься прямиком на зону.
Ну, что, сынок, кушать хочешь?
Не меньше всего сейчас тут. Хотелось бы остаться одному. Без тебя.
Ты куда? Тебе ж нельзя!
Ela dance și de bronzat. Твою ж мать.
Бля, вообще не просто моя. Тут его им.
So we done this movie, so now we don't is searching co-producer, but we want to make distribution and maybe to sell this right to refilming this movie in our country, because like I say, it's adaptable. And it's important theme for Europe, migration, and I don't forget the word. Thank you.